Look quite good in the background.
Me too.
Oh, we're live. Hello, everybody.
Can everybody hear us? Very important question. Just say yes if you can hear us.
There's always a little bit of a delay. I hope you're not naked. We're live on the internet.
I'm not naked.
Okay.
I was going to ask if you're hungry.
No, but you obviously are. I suppose you're begging for kebabs.
Yeah, you can hear. Have you got money?
Excellent. Hello.
Everyone as well. Yeah.
I'd like to start this evening, well, I suppose it's morning for some of you and afternoon, by saying that I was aware of a film called The Princess Diaries, and I thought I'd seen it all years ago. And I looked on YouTube, and yes, there is a full version that someone's put on YouTube, and they've like changed the screen slightly, and the audio is not as good. It's not bad. It's not bad. And I said to Graham last night, guys, shall we watch it? Because apparently it's Megan's favourite film. Now, I love Julie Andrews. I love her. Anne Hathaway.
Oh,
but
that was awful.
I've got to say,
I have to sit through that film.
The most cringe-worthy, appalling film I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen some bad ones. And before you have a go at poor old David.
David? Who's David?
Hasselhoff, because I know you love to tease him. And he has been in a couple of abysmal, I think he's made them himself, films. I've got to say, The Princess Diaries is the worst movie I've ever seen, and I don't think I'd ever seen it.
How did Julie Andrews lower herself to be in that film?
No.
Actors don't care, do they? They just don't care. They just say, that's a job. What do you want me to do? Yes, I'll do it.
It was humiliating. It was humiliating. And I honestly don't know how anybody could think that is anything like real royal life. And the family name, they use something like Schiraldi, like to mimic Grimaldi. Yeah. I don't know if any of the Grimaldis have ever seen it. I dread to think what Princess Caroline and Stephanie think of it. Probably threw up all over the floor. I guess you guys love Julie Andrews and you think that I'm being awful.
It plays on Monaco in general, wasn't it?
Hello, everybody. Wow.
Hello.
Ria, Jodie, Dell, the lovely Dell. Hello, everybody. So many names. I'm from all over the place. Yeah, have any of you actually... Oh, don't do that. You might...
I was trying to highlight... I've forgotten how you do it. You click on them, don't you? And they...
No.
I thought you clicked on them and it highlights them on the screen.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
How
we're in YouTube.
Yeah, but you can do it on YouTube, right? Maybe not.
That's a StreamYard thing.
Oh, was that straight on?
I think. So you don't need to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, just about everybody's here, I think. Glinda's here somewhere because I just saw someone say hello, Glinda.
I have to say something before. If anyone saw the video I uploaded on my channel about half an hour ago, Fiona said, you made that look like you made it all tidy. Right, and I have to say, I did not. It was Fiona, okay? She's been working really hard.
Oh, 6 hours.
Making it all tidy and clean and everything.
6 hours clean.
So I just came swanning in and made it look like it was all me that had tidied it. It wasn't. I just want to say that from the start.
No, I didn't think you made it look like that on the video, but it's the way you congratulate yourself.
And if it came across that way, I'm sorry. It wasn't me, okay?
No, it's when we just got home and I spent 6 hours disinfecting that entire cabin because it's a boat and that's what you have to do. Ceilings, walls, everything. Absolutely everything. Shower bills, you have to take the floor up. There's a lot in a boat and that's why people have crew. But I haven't got any slaves to do it. Or I'm supposed to have slaves, but they're not very obedient. And I even brought Graham's gaming PC down from upstairs and I'd lined it all up, but I hadn't plugged it all in. So all he had to do was plug it in and his flight's here with it. It wasn't that you said it on your video. You just came back here now, very self-congratulatory. Like, oh, yeah. Oh, stateroom.
Well, I was marvelling at how well you'd done. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And she said, oh, that makes you look like you do. I didn't do a thing. Honestly, I didn't do a thing.
So,
I know you believe me.
The other big thing of the day, which it seems is inescapable, is Philip Schofield. And I'm not really interested in him, but as I understand it, it's turning into a bit of a big business, isn't it? Especially for ITV.
Yeah.
So,
well, this the main bone of contention that people have been moaning about. He's been telling lies. And I think, if Boris Johnson told lies all the time from the moment he woke
all
up
right,
until the moment he went to bed.
Everybody tells lies.
That's what he did.
I'd be amazed if any celebrity's going to come out and go, "Oh, I've been a twerp." They're never going to do that, are they?
I mean, I can think of worse things he's alleged to
I
have
hope ITV goes down.
been telling lies.
How many of them tell lies? A lot, Joe, I would imagine. A lot. And I suppose, well, I mean, honestly, I don't know what Philip Schofield has been up to. I have noticed Lady C once or twice make reference to him. And I know the things that she said, and she would not say something unless it was true and factual and correct. And I didn't like when he interviewed her and he said to her, "You're just a gossip." That actually made Graham really angry at the time. And Graham doesn't really follow Lady C. And you were really quite defensive of her. And you were like, "That is so rude. How dare he speak to Lady C like that?"
I'm going.
Oh, he's begging
in
for
the
food.
comments. I'm just seeing.
Hey, Ben. Mad
Hey.
Papa.
Here's a bit of an update for all of you people. I'm not with India anymore.
Okay.
Don't know if any of you knew that.
He's got a new girlfriend.
Yes.
A much better girlfriend.
Yeah, enough to think about.
With very
And I'm not allowed to say anything other than that. Okay.
She has very beautiful blue eyes.
She does.
He's gone. He just wants a kebab. Just wants this. He comes beg like the cat for food. Anne-Marie Fleming. It's been an open secret for years about Schofield. Well, I mean, I think I'm probably the only person who doesn't know then. A lot of them are saying that. I mean, isn't there a bit of a ding dong between him and Eamon
Holmes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm not interested. I haven't been following it at all.
What I think is shocking, right, is that ITV are in the crapper. Apparently, they've lost 50% of their share value.
Good time to jump in and buy shares in ITV. Because they're bound to go back up. They're all like this. No, don't know anything about him.
Second point. Don't take medical or financial or legal advice from my husband.
Me, because I'm an idiot.
But what astonishes me, I mean, I really haven't got to the bottom of exactly what Schofield's done. I think I watched another YouTuber today that I've never seen before, a young man, and he seems to know a lot. And I get the impression he knows this boy Matthew, and I get the impression he was kind of there at the time, and he's very angry. And he says Matthew has wanted to talk for a long time. There's been a super injunction and stuff. He's a really angry young man. And I can sympathise with him. But, right, Schofield lied. The original lie, wasn't it, that he said he wasn't in a relationship with this person. And at that point, you know, the person could have been any age. Now it's turning out he's, you know, a lot younger than, so I don't know when all that started. But why the outrage? Why the general public outrage over that? And yet Meghan can lie through her arse and it's only our community. But we're pretty small in a global scale, if you see what I mean. There's 7-point-something billion people on planet Earth, and she lied all the time. Okay, Schofield's just told a big fat whopper, and he's admitted it. But I wonder who issues these super injunctions. Judge Warby? No, I'm not going to pick on Warby again tonight. Wanker.
Boris Johnson told lies.
Schofield has been, this is Kathleen, messing for years, and good on Eamon for, didn't Eamon, I saw GB News and someone said, Eamon had said something on his Instagram like, "Oh, you want to fight, do you, Schofield? Come on then.
Hey, come on.
I think what he meant was a fight like a tit for tat on Twitter or Instagram or something like that. I don't think he actually meant, you know.
It would have been more fun though, wouldn't it? Watching them bit slapping each other like this, pair of anchors from the TV.
Oh, Eamon would knock him out, I reckon.
Oh, I reckon he wouldn't. I reckon he'd be
I don't know.
Little slaps.
He was absolutely horrible to Lady C. Yes, he was. He actually said to her,
Oh, Lady C, ain't she?
because, well, Lady C is an authoress and a historian. And she writes books about lots of people that she may never have met. And that's a perfectly normal thing. In my day, it was called a biography. If someone writes a book about you, that's a biography. If you write it about yourself, it's called an autobiography.
Okay.
So Schofield said to her, you know, what gives you the right to write a book about Meghan? You're just a gossip, aren't you? Well, you were there. You got the right knock at the time. I bet you've forgotten, haven't
I've
you?
forgotten.
But you were like, that was bloody rude, speaking to her like that. Anyway, she held her own. She held her own. She saw him off.
That woman cannot hold it.
Marcia says, well done, Ruth and Eamon, for speaking out to start with. I'll tell you someone I'd like to hear from.
Hi, Midwest.
Is Fern Britton. I'd really like to hear from Fern. Dan Wootton interview with Eamon, 9 p.m. tonight. Oh, UK time. Oh, well, I'll have to catch up on that one. Markle is trying to silence YouTuber Paula M. Is she? I didn't know Paula was having difficulties. She's pretty tough though, Paula. She won't take any nonsense. Because Harry lost his case for Ravek and his right to pay for police security, might this play into his other case? Yeah, I think so. I mean, nothing's guaranteed with judges and the judiciary, but I will be astonished if he gets IPP. I think the whole point of him offering to pay for it was to remove the argument that, oh, you can't have it because of the taxpayer, right? And I think if he'd won the right to pay for it and get IPP, I think later he'd have said, well, why should I pay for it? I've been awarded it. Why should I pay for it? No one else is. I think that's what they were going to do. But because he's not, they've said you can't even pay for it. It's not guns for hire.
You're not entitled to it.
I think that is, you know, when they get to the next one, then I suppose the court will say, I'm sorry, but Ravek were quite correct. You don't live in the country. You're not a working royal. You're not entitled to it. And we cannot justify the cost to the taxpayer. To which Harry will say, well, I offered to pay, but you wouldn't let me pay. And they'll just say, you know, bad luck. I just can't imagine he's going to win that.
Trevor Coult covered that really well. He said because if they allow him to do it, then other millionaires and billionaires,
Yep.
police will be guns for hire. Won't they? They'll start having the police.
Now, I'd also like to make a very important point. It's more of a question. Now, when they were in the royal family and they did have this status, did they have access to any files or data of other people or magical abilities to find out, for example, where YouTubers live, what their real names are? Because then potentially, wasn't there a YouTuber once upon a time who had a house set fire to, who has very sadly died since, not of the fire, but you all know who I mean. A lot of you know who I mean. There have been other people. I've got a friend who comments on here. I won't say her name, but she said at one point she was on Twitter under a complete pseudonym, right? And she had a VPN, and the Sugars found out her real name. I won't say her name because she's an authoress. And they found out where she lived and she got a ton of shit for it. So now she actually comments under more or less her real name. She was just like, sod it. So is it possible that any information that MI5 or MI6 had through this, you know, do they have access? Did Harry and Meghan have access to that type of data?
I don't know is the answer to that, but I'm guessing yes.
Well, I'm asking these guys.
I'm guessing they do.
I'm guessing.
I mean, Prince William, definitely 100%.
I trust William 100% with it.
To MI6 and all the security services, and if he had a troll out there slagging them off, they'd be on them straight away.
I don't think William would bother.
So, but the point is, we can safely say that he will have access to that. But will Harry? And
yes,
probably will actually.
That's what I'd like to know.
And I don't know.
How many? I mean, we've never experienced it because you all know who we are, where we live, where we work.
Yeah.
But not everybody wants to do that. And I know how they found out Wally's real identity. That was through another group on another social media. But there are other people who've been doxxed horribly. How did the information about who they were and where they lived, how did that get out? So I think that they're actually quite dangerous people, both of them. I think they're absolute liabilities.
Tabitha Jones says Megan's sugars take me down all the time.
Yeah.
I just keep commenting.
I got to say, I don't really have that much of a problem with sugars. They mostly stay away from me. Red Squirrel says, yes, he would. That's why he wants it. I wonder, he can find and cancel people. And I suppose he gets a level of diplomatic immunity, can't be sued, doesn't have to give evidence. She can lie through her arse even way crazier about people.
It's been rumoured the guy is in a hotel and he's spending $1,200 US a night in this hotel. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what I've heard on the internet. Right, so if he can spend $1,200 a night, and that's just for the bed in the room, I mean, he could find out where you live if you're slagging him off on the internet, and he could send a few boys around. There's a few grandlads, go and give him a slap or whatever.
Beth says,
you know, it'd be so easy, wouldn't it, if he had access to all that information? If he did.
I don't know, Beth, if they would get out of giving evidence at Samantha Markle's trial with IPP status. I really don't know the answer to that question.
Well, Prince Andrew, like,
I love the angry face.
Prince Andrew has got, the FBI can't extradite him, can they? So he's obviously got status where anyone else.
Hang on, Hansard no longer has access to MI6 info. That's part of his claim that his security in US can't automatically get info. Right. Yeah, so why does he need the info? Why does he need access to all that?
So we can find out all his trolls are. Right,
yeah.
I'm going to come and get you.
I wonder.
Abuse that position. You know, that's what I call it. Abusing that position.
I mean, this Philip Schofield thing, this boy, I'll have to look up who the YouTuber is and give him a bit of a shout. So you can all go and listen to him for yourself. But he says there was a super injunction and they have a time limit. Now, I've heard that for Harry and Meghan, that there are super injunctions about Birkenhead, red and purple coat, kneecap thing.
Yeah.
Apparently there are super injunctions about that. I mean, how do people know these injunctions exist? And then by the time they've expired, I'm surprised they have expiry dates.
It reminded me of that Princess Diary from last night. Ladies, never cross your legs.
I know.
Always put one leg behind the other.
I wanted to throw up when I saw that because it is absolute nonsense. And I wondered where this rubbish came from.
She's obviously memorised every single line in the whole
There were
film.
loads of lines in the film. And there's a 2 movie as well. And we just watched the last 3 minutes, and it's where Meghan where the lead character gets crowned and stands up and says, I accept my responsibility as the Queen. Oh my goodness.
With one hand stick and the other hand crown.
I nearly threw up watching that.
I used to say me, but the 7 billion of you out there I'm so interested in.
If I can just use your chair a minute and demonstrate the leg crossing thing that they had on it.
Do it back.
Yeah.
There you go, perfect.
I was always told, cross your legs like that. Princess Diana did it like that sometimes. Quite often she had her legs like that, or like that. But in the Princess Diary film, they say, oh no, cross your feet like that. And I remember the Sugars and Meghan going, oh, she has to cross her feet like that. The Queen forced her to do that. And I thought, where the hell are they getting this from? The Princess Diaries. Oh, fucking awful film. Awful, ghastly film. Thank you, Graham. And it's absolute nonsense. And I thought, what the hell is all this knee crossing nonsense they're coming out? And the soldiers all dressed up like something that the Nutcracker suite, weren't they? Oh, it was awful. It was worse than Disneyland, worse than Hollywood. It was like one of those.
Well, imagine being 21 years old and loving that film.
Oh, 20. I think she was 25 when it came out. It was in 2001, wasn't it? Anyway.
I don't know. I watched it before.
It reminded me of one of those Mattel Barbie films.
They were good, them. Don't knock them. I used to watch them with our little Sammy. The Nutcracker and Swan Lake.
Christina Bacon says, Fiona and Graham, I wish they would divorce. I'm sick and tired of listening about them. I'd rather concentrate on the working royals. Yes, they do somewhat seem to drown them out. But
can you imagine Sussex versus Sussex, the messiest divorce ever?
I watched Sue Smith because being here in Spain, I don't know about you guys in the UK, but here in Spain, my Google feed is just full of Meghan and Harry. And if I want to know what the other royals are up to, I watch Sue Smith. Because for some reason, where she is in America, she can get information about our royal family really accurate on exactly what they've been up to and where they've been. And I'd love it if mainstream media followed them a
It
bit
depends
more.
where you are, because we in Spain, we get a lot more information about England.
If it's
And the
bad
UK,
stuff,
yeah.
they
We
talk
knew
about
Boris
it.
Johnson was in hospital with COVID.
Mm.
And I posted something on Facebook because it was all over the news in Spain.
Everybody knew here in
And
Spain.
we knew he'd been to St Thomas's Hospital. He was on.
And we were watching Sky News and stuff, and they
Ventilator,
were
whatever.
denying everything. They were saying
And
he's
there was
actually fine.
nothing in the UK, and people were saying, "How do you know? How on earth do you know this? Were you there with him?" And I said, "No, it's all over the news. I live in Spain, mate. It's on the news." And then, sure enough, the next day it was released. And I goes back to the same guy. I said, "Apologies. In order, perhaps." And he just blocked me. So yeah, different countries get different information. They're not allowed to reveal things. If you want to find out what's going on in France, get German news.
Yeah, they
If you
love
want to find out what's
posting.
going on in England, get French news and German news, Spanish news. And because they do French news in English, German news, DW does German news in English.
Yes, Tabitha, I agree. She's bored with royal family stuff. She's only interested in H&M because of they pose a threat, don't they? It's the freedom of speech stuff. I don't think.
Do you want to top up?
No, I'm all right, thanks. I've got me water.
Well, this is water, then.
Yeah. I don't think that we've had a problem with a member of the royal family trying to dictate and rule over us and openly steal our free speech. When would that have been? Charles I, Oliver Cromwell kind of territory? I don't know. This sort of problem certainly hasn't cropped up recently until Meghan came along. She was a proper little dictator. She's awful. I think she's awful. Hello, Nookie Bear. Hello, everybody. I can't read everybody's. Yes, Sue Smith is brilliant. She's brilliant. She gets the point, and she tells us all about she does the real royals first, and then she gets on down and dirty.
She doesn't waffle on and on for ages.
Yes, I love watching a lot of them. It depends what I'm doing, how much time I've got. If I'm cleaning or doing DIY stuff like that, I'll listen to River or Lady C. Because I don't have to
just want to listen to people talking about nothing in particular. Remember, if you're waiting for the juicy. If someone says, "Oh, I found something out," you don't want to listen for 30 minutes to them going, "Well, yes, I've been here and I've been there. Oh, look at the floor was a bit dirty." Tell me now.
But they are talking about interesting things well, especially Lady C. I do like listening to River, especially when he gets a bit bitchy and kicks off on one. But if I'm doing something and I can't keep getting up to get another video.
Yeah.
But that's if I'm busy doing something. The rest of the time, then I watch Trevor.
Be on your exercise bike listening to Yankee Wally. She had to do 45 minutes in the exercise
I had to do
bike.
16 kilometres, and
Sounds
Wally's
great.
videos were the perfect length. I used to have the bike there watching the telly. They were absolutely the perfect length. Lady C's were a little bit long. I was starting to get tired. I was thinking, I'm getting up to 20 kilometres now. And I don't think I watched River back in those days. I'm not sure I had discovered him at that point.
I discover new people all the time. It's brilliant. I put a post in my community. But keep checking my community out. Anyone I think's really good and interesting, I'll pop them in there. So if you check them out yourself. You might like.
Yes, Taz is excellent. Lalani of Barbados.
Taz, brilliant, yeah.
Sumi, somebody else said. Sumi is a really good one. Royal Grift, of course. The Royal Grift. I miss Wally too, Del. I really miss her.
There's a few people that I don't like, but I'm not going to mention them.
Oh, don't stop.
I'm not going to give them
They're
any
nothing to do.
air.
They are nothing to do with any of our community anyway. They're like dude channels.
Yeah.
Jumbo, you're giving me nightmares. Right.
Hello, Boo.
I haven't heard from Wally in ages. A few months now. Last time I saw her, she was just really happy. She got her teeth in, and she'd been hooking up with some old friends and stuff. And I'm not sure. I think she had a boyfriend.
Did she?
I can't remember. I think somebody said something about that. Yes, Taz is very good. And I'm going to start watching Shalon Lester more. I used to watch Shalon a lot, but she does so many celebrities that I've never heard of.
She's good, Sharon. I like Sharon Lester.
Yeah, she's quite meow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There is a rumour that Harry wants to convert Spare into a movie. Oh. And the idea of a second Netflix series. About what? I mean, really, about what? If they were going to spill some dirt, they should have done it by now, because no one's going to believe them.
Well, Harry is still Diana's son. You can mention that.
Again. Val P says, hi, everyone. Happy Memorial Day, everyone across the States. Happy Monday. Yes, it is Memorial Day in America today, I believe. Tracy M. Jeff Airhern has also roasted H&M a couple of times. I'm not sure I know who he is. Like I said, people have got to be world famous for me to know who they are. You know, like Elvis Presley. Otherwise, I just haven't got a clue. Kathleen. Schofield is trying to worm his way out. He groomed Matthew McGreevy from the age of 10. Yeah, that's what this other YouTuber said, allegedly. We have to say allegedly.
So
and
how old is that person now then?
I don't know. But apparently there was like a charity where it's, I can't think of the word, drama school.
Okay.
And they choose children who want to get into the industry and end up working on TV, theatre and stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't know how Schofield was involved with it, whether he was a patron, a fundraiser, or just visiting. And this Matthew was 10 years old, according to this YouTuber that I was watching today. And I forget his name. I'm going to look him up and then I'll tell you guys.
I've never heard of him.
It's a bit of a radical channel, actually. And I looked at a few of his other videos that they're not really my cup of tea. But he's got a lot to say about Philip Schofield.
Pat Pelham, hi Pat.
Here we are. He's called The Divided Kingdom.
Is he?
Yeah, The Divided Kingdom. And he's got videos on Madeleine McCann and someone called Stephen Crowder, I've never heard of. And various conspiracy theories.
H.G. Tudor says he met.
He doesn't like Jeffrey Marsh. My daughter doesn't like Jeffrey Marsh. My son always says, "Who's Jeffrey Marsh?"
And who is H.G. Tudor?
No, Jeffrey Marsh is that. Look.
No, someone just mentioned H.G. Tudor.
Oh yes, H.G. Tudor is another.
H.G. Tudor said he's met Markle.
That you know, it's a man, but it's a woman. It's like the top half of the head is like Julie Andrews, but the bottom's got a beard. That one there.
Yeah.
Okay,
whatever. I don't know H.G. Tudor. You see, the problem with
no.
I'm not going to say anything negative about people that don't.
I should hope not. Nothing.
But H.G. Tudor has claimed that's not his real name. He never shows his face. So I could say I met Princess Diana. And nobody would ever know because, I mean, I haven't. Honestly, I haven't. But
No,
I could
I
say
haven't.
I had because she's dead and she can't say, no, we didn't. Never met you. Who are you? So.
Did you really think H.G. Tudor might have been his real name?
No, but I don't.
Oh, you're so naive.
I don't think he's met Meghan Markle either. But I don't know. He might have done. I don't care.
I have no idea. No idea.
I think it's rather odd.
Well, Meghan, she's definitely odd.
Mm.
And who else is there? Oh, there's loads of YouTubers that we watch. Trevor, of course, every single day, sometimes several times a day.
Yeah, Trevor's channel's really good. I watch Trevor quite a lot.
H.G. Tudor is a Meghan Ball Budder. Hugh Grant. Yes, I saw a video of his the other day where he was amused at people trying to guess who he is. Ibble Dibble, yes, that's another one. Lost Beyond Pluto.
HTTP is a narcissist, but it takes one to know. I know that's what he
But
says.
he
says that,
declares,
doesn't
he
he?
declares, yes, that he is a narcissist.
Narcissist.
Daily Empress, yes, Daily Empress is very entertaining. She's got a really nice laugh.
Trying to do the HTTP voice.
Royally Blonde, and there's a Housewives channel as well that I subscribe to. I can't think what the official title is. Neil Sean, it's another great one.
It is funny. He's
Paula
funny,
M.
so.
Tarot by Andy, yes. Miss Ashley.
I like Andy the Gabby Cabby.
Yeah, Andy's sweet.
He's brilliant. He's
isn't he?
brilliant, yeah.
He's a sweetie.
All right, how you doing?
I'm all
Yeah.
right. How are you? I'm buzzing. He makes me buzz.
No, I don't think H.G. Tudor is Tom Bower. I don't know why, but in my mind, H.G. Tudor is, you know, tall, dark, handsome.
No.
I'm not saying Tom isn't, but I just can't see it being Tom Bower. Daniel Boland. Oh, Daniel, he's the best, isn't he, Graham?
He's very funny. Fiona did a live with him. If you look back through Fiona's lives, in case you haven't seen it,
Absolutely awesome.
he's brilliant.
He is really funny. I don't know how he gets away with it.
He's a
I
really
suppose
clever guy. Yeah.
He gets away with it because he's hilarious. But I mean,
He's outrageous.
yes.
But he's a really clever guy, really sharp. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well worth watching Daniel Boland if you haven't already.
absolutely.
Maybe check
Howie
his
has
show
not
out.
got 500,000 or 1 million subscribers.
I know.
He'll be talent spotted one day and we'll see him. He'll be on the telly and all over the place, like Russell Brand.
And he goes, "How come you haven't liked and subscribed? I want 100,000 views."
Yeah.
And he gives it all that. And you think, but he's just got the neck and the front, and everyone's just getting the like button. Like,
I was absolutely starstruck because it was like meeting Russell Brand. You know, I'd be like,
oh, she was buzzing. I
that was just
contacted Daniel.
awesome.
Yeah. He said, "Yeah, he'll do a live with it." And she's like,
Oh, that was so kind of you
believe
to
it.
do that. Thank you. Awesome. If I could get you alive with Clint Eastwood, I'd do it.
"Oh,
I don't know.
I'm not sure about
I
that."
don't know if Clint's on the internet.
What would I say? We just stare at each other. So what do you want me to say, punk? Oh, you like guns, Clint? Yeah.
What? Welly Girl says, "What's Megan's next appearance?" I don't know. I think she's hiding. Wouldn't it be weird if she turned into a bit of a Howard Hughes and just disappeared?
Yeah, but with all that money, you could just disappear and live happily
Yes.
ever after, couldn't you?
Yeah. It's amazing.
So what's the agenda? What is the
Considering-
agenda?
At the beginning, he said, "Oh, she's into humanitarian work and going to
No, she
African
isn't.
countries."
She don't do any of that.
And he said, "Well, that's what we're going to do." And they haven't done any of that. They've just gone, flown to Hollywood, and they're living out the princess story.
She wants to be invited to Mission Impossible with Tom Cruise. And it's not going to happen, is it, Megan? Because he doesn't want to work with you.
And I saw a puff piece saying she's best friends with Cameron Diaz and Gwyneth Paltrow now, and they're helping build her Hollywood career. I thought they were maybe in the same cafe as her for 30 seconds. They walked past her.
What was all that? I'm new best friends with Jennifer Aniston.
I don't think Jennifer Aniston likes her. They were in a film together.
Were they?
Yeah, and she apparently kept stalking Aniston until Aniston said, "Security!"
Take it away. I've
Yeah.
only ever seen her in Castle. Wasn't she like a deranged
Yes.
serial killer?
Anybody seen Megan
One of
in
the episodes
Castle?
of Castle.
She played the murderer, and it was a fairy tale characters, and they were all dressed up. There were 4 or 5 girls. They were all dressed up as Disney princess characters, and I think Megan was Snow White. And yeah, it's actually quite sinister.
Well,
Perhaps
creepy.
she's better at acting those sorts of parts.
Yeah.
Maybe she should get a part in
She did.
EastEnders.
What?
Yeah, she could be the baddie. She could buy the Queen Vic. Right, you bastards. I'll teach you in the East End.
By the way, if you're not
My
from the
way.
UK, EastEnders is a soap opera.
Yeah, it's a brilliant soap opera. I
Big
miss
time
it. I miss it.
popular.
I miss
British soap opera set in London in the East End. So those Americans and Australians, you know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Do, 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 do,
You can Google it
do,
if
do.
you
Oh,
really
Glory! Coronation Street,
Oh,
I think, is
no.
the longest and oldest running soap opera. She could.
Yeah, it is actually.
It is. And they reckon if aliens are out there, that, you know, that's the thing that beams out and they'll see Coronation
They've been
Street. They
watching
see Deirdre.
Coronation Street. Deirdre
Poor
Barlow.
Poor lady died a while ago, but apparently in space they would get older episodes. They might even see Ina
People were
Sharples.
talking the other day when on that video that you made about bullshitters, and she got set up by this fellow who was an airline pilot.
Oh right. Oh yeah, yeah. I was
She's
sorry. I thought you were going to
No, I'm talking about
say something
Deirdre Barlow.
else. Yes, because I was, you know, yeah. He was like that. He was like that.
Yeah, you get people like.
And do you know what the cheeky little monkey said to my sort of sister-in-law? After it was all over and Graham and I had come back to the UK, he said, oh, she brought it all on herself. I brought it all on myself, did I? I brought it all on myself. Right, oh, something's just shown up in orange. So, Aussie Walks. I used to watch EastEnders when I was a kid back in the 80s. Yes. Well, in the UK, we used to watch the Sullivans and Neighbours.
And the Sullivans, yeah.
I love the Sullivans and Neighbours. Yeah. Rachel got her SAG card on the Soap General Hospital. Her dad arranged for her to get 3 lines. Yes. I know, Glinda. There is so much talent on YouTube and good information along with facts. Yes, there is, Jennifer.
It's brilliant.
There is.
They're fantastic YouTubers.
In fact,
I'm watching YouTube more than the television.
I'm very much getting the impression that Philip Schofield has really been brought down by YouTubers.
Do you reckon?
Yes, I think that the press watch YouTube and that's where they're getting a lot of information from. I do get that impression.
I would if I was a journalist, because journalists generally they're just well, it's a human failing, isn't it? They're just lazy, so they can find out things, juicy bits from other people. They'll go around all the YouTubers on the subject they're interested in, and get a load of information. Think, that seems I might follow that up.
Tom Bauer, for example,
it's a great source, isn't it? Come on.
I read the majority of his book and an awful lot of the content in his book. Wally had already uncovered about 2 years before, if not earlier.
Yeah.
She had sussed it all
out.
You
were saying it was her that revealed when Megan was caught sneaking in the back of someone's car.
I don't know if she was the only YouTuber, but I only ever saw Wally talk about it. That there's a little video, isn't there, of Megan sneaking around somebody's car trying to steal something, and the security bodyguard comes over and goes, "What are you doing?" and shoos her away, and then she goes back again. And that video has been doing rounds. It was Wally. I saw Wally doing that.
And that was in Bauer's book.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
No. But I remember Wally doing a video on it.
But again, if you're writing a book on a subject, you can look at the subject on YouTube and you can get a load of information. What a brilliant place to find information and resources.
Yeah, I mean, some of it may be way off the mark, but some of it could be.
Well, it might be, but you've got to decide, haven't you?
Yeah, I
what's
suppose
genuine and
so.
what's not, follow things up, check things out,
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people say things on YouTube that are actually spot on.
Yeah.
But how do you prove it's spot on or not?
Right, Susan Reich says, most of MSM was on YouTube years ago. Yeah. Padina, that's another one. Bobby says, today Padina says it was William's car. Yeah, I saw someone that said it was William's car, but I'm sure when Wally did the video, well, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure she said it was Harry's car. And I seem to remember, it was like someone had a mobile phone and they were filming her from a distance thinking, what the hell is she up to? It's a strange one. Was this the flashing light behind you?
It's a solar light.
Oh, right, yes.
As it goes dark, they come on and they give a little bit of light.
I'm going to change the colour of that and get
then they go off.
A bit more ice.
Okay.
I'll let you read some of the comments.
We've got them in the garden. The garden's just out there.
Yes, it's just
There's a load of them sitting around, and just as it's getting dark, they come on and go off, come on, go off, and as it gets a bit more dark, they stay on. They're brilliant. We've had them a couple of years. I mean, they're only cheap Chinese things, but they're brilliant. They work really well. Molly's a legend. Jules Cousins, yes, she is. She is. I wish she was back on. I really do. Poor Graham can't get a word in edgewise with Fiona. Don't worry. I can hold my own. What's the flashing light? Behind you, plus you must have the photo taken. Interactive. Yeah, YouTube is more fun to watch. I watch loads of people on YouTube. And I go through phases of watching people. And I watch someone for ages and then I don't watch them
Me too.
for months. And then I'll go back to them and think, oh, I wonder what happened to them. And I'm watching a guy at the moment escape to rural France. I've watched quite a few renovation programs. I'm watching Sean's World or something tonight, and the Prefix and that, they brought the old convent. But I'm watching this guy, and I thought he's a loon, this Dan, right? And I just can't stop watching his channel. He bought a burned out chateau. I mean, it's like a Gothic chateau, but there's nothing there. It's just walls and no roof, and it's just full of rubble. And I looked and I thought, why on earth did you buy that? And he's there with a wheelbarrow and a spade, and he's going in the cellar and he's just putting bricks and rubble in his wheelbarrow, taking it outside and pouring it into a pile. And I thought, you have got to be mad. I mean, there's just no way you're ever going to do that. But it's obviously got a big piece of land with it, and his channel has got like so many subscribers. He must be getting good money from like the revenue from it. And you think, hang on a minute, he's not actually soft, this guy. And you're watching him, and you think what he's doing is just pointless. It's going to take him forever. But he's not. He's actually getting on with it, and it's really, really good. It's actually quite therapeutic watching the bricklaying going down. So I used to be a bricklayer. Haven't done it for many years, but it's actually really addictive channel to watch. It's brilliant.
I love watching people do DIY.
Yeah.
The bigger the challenge, the better as well, isn't it? I don't know where they get the energy.
I keep leaving comments on his channel. I say, go on, don't be tight, employ some builders to get it done quicker. But he probably doesn't want it done quicker because when it's finished, he'll have to think of something else to do, won't he? And it's just, I don't know. It's
quite incredible. It's like something out of Age of Empires.
But it's the sort of monumental task that I would never, ever have taken on, ever. I mean, I've struggled getting on small tasks, don't I?
Candor, I want more ghost stories. I like to think I guess he's had so many experiences. And another one, Sean Atwood. I saw Sean Atwood and Matthew Steeples today talking about Philip Schofield. That was really good.
Sean's
really,
massive,
really
though. Sean's massive. Huge channel.
Dan's channel is Escape to Rural France.
That's the one you're watching as well. It's brilliant. I mean, I watched him a few times and I thought you're mad. But I kept going back. I couldn't resist. I thought,
I watched him because you had him on, and I see him on in the background.
And he's just totally laid back guy, and he just does all bizarre things.
In fact, you watch more than one, don't you? Is he the one with the solar panels and stuff? And he had a
no, that was
they've got a convent.
Billy from the convent, the Prefix, I think that was. Well, he used to post every day, and then he decided he wasn't going to post every day, and I haven't watched him since.
Oh, right.
So I don't know how he's got on. But he had this fella Sean working for him, who's got a row of cottages somewhere, not far away. And Sean's got his own channel, Sean's World. He's got about 40,000 subscribers, and he's on with renovating his cottages. And one of them's a barn in the middle. I think they're going to make them into a row of cottages. And I don't know. And he wanders around car boot sales and second-hand shops, picking up copper pans. Really old ones, like 100 years old, all gone black and that. And he gives €20. And then he has them all cleaned and polished, and he knocks them out for like a couple of hundred.
Everything copper, loads
He's
of
banging
stuff.
to buying really ancient copper stuff from it. It's just interesting.
Has he bought you one?
You better have done. I want me changed.
Oh, is it? It's treat night tonight, is it?
Okay. Yeah, why not? I've had a kebab for weeks.
Celt News. Yes, thank you. I watched Celt. And, Murky Meg. So I always used to think they sounded really similar, but that wasn't the one I was trying to think of. She's called Lynn, and she's South African. And I watch her bookworm. I watch her all the time. I subscribe to about 200 YouTubers, seriously, and I think my subscriptions are public. I think they are, so you can always go through and see all the people. In fact, like Graham says, I go through phases of watching particular YouTubers. But I never unsubscribe from anybody. I think I've only unsubscribed from 2 channels, and one was GB News, basically because it's a news channel, and it was just GB News, and then I couldn't see my regulars. And I can't really remember what the other one was, but it was a similar reason. I've never unsubscribed from anybody, you know, even if they say something that I don't agree with or I don't like. I never do that. Right, I'm unsubscribing, I'm off, that's it, oh, done it with me. Never. I can't actually be bothered. And also, I do believe that there is only ever one video on YouTube that I have hit the dislike button for, and it was Megan reading her stupid bench book. But apart from that, and it had more dislikes than likes. Remember that, guys? I've never seen that before. I have never seen that before on YouTube. A video that has more dislikes than likes. Woo! The Hat, Give It Away of time period way before the dreadful marriage. Yeah, Megan's like she was born in the 1950s or something, isn't it? Or earlier. She comes out with things like, I think slavery should be abolished in the United Kingdom. Or, I think women should have the vote in the United Kingdom. So I think maybe she was born into the wrong era, wasn't she? I don't think she's really got the vibe that perhaps those issues were resolved a little while ago, that she thinks they're still trending topics. Or perhaps watching the Princess Diaries, she thinks we're an imaginary made-up kingdom in a far, far away land that's really irrelevant, like Genovia, apparently. That's what they call the kingdom. We should all start calling her the Queen of Genovia. Right.
Genovia. Like
yes, they did. Chris Boozy Breath. That's the person's username, by the way. Chris Boozy Breath just said they did. They hit the dislike button after that. Now, she had an interview earlier in the week where she said, I think social media should have a dislike button as well as a like button. And I thought, YouTube's had that since it was born. What the hell are you talking about, you silly cow? Then she did the cleverly book reading thing, got so many dislikes, something like 100,000 dislikes and 200 likes, they hit the button. So I don't want a dislike button. Oh, you've come to chat, have you?
Graham, are you Benjamin Button?
I've never seen Benjamin Button.
I don't know what Benjamin
It was a movie, I think, a little guy.
But yes, I am Graham now. In fact, my middle name is Graham, so I might as well be.
That's true.
You could call me Graham, and it's legally correct.
What's going on here?
What's going on where?
Are you growing a designer beard or something? Or you just
not.
can't be bothered to shave?
No, I want to, and Alice keeps saying that
Shave it off.
She's saying grow it out.
Grow it out.
And I've just realised.
Go away, Ben. Go away.
Exposed.
Go away. Ben forgot to shave. Let's not talk to Ben. Ben used to do, what was that social media you used to do? And you'd wind up the people who are into, like, real liberal people.
Oh, that wasn't a social media. That was Omegle. Omegle.com.
God,
You can turn your webcam on and meet completely random strangers. And
okay, I don't want my channel going down.
yeah, let's just say I'm banned on every single search engine. Not for indecent exposure,
No,
but for anything else.
I saw the one you put on TikTok where he had a couple of girls and they were going on about self-harm and depression and stuff like that. And
I was winding them up, saying,
yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I won't repeat it. It's really shocking stuff. Ben, did you watch Smokey and the Bandit yet? Yes, he did. He watched it last night. So we must have mentioned that. I didn't know Brad Pitt was in Benjamin Button. I'll have to. Ben, not Pornhub. Yes, he's got his. Lady Faith is in the UK at the moment. She was in Milan before that. She's zipping all over Europe at the moment. She's got a really, really top job, and she's doing fantastically well. It's quite a shock to the system, actually, and I'm really pleased for her because she's always been a really shy kid, and neither of my kids particularly liked school. So she's done really well for herself, and Benjamin has applied to join the Royal Navy again. He sorted out he applied to join the Royal Navy before COVID. And the process just ground to a halt because of the lockdown. I don't really know why, but anyway. And he got as far as they said, well, because of COVID, we're not going to do actual face-to-face medicals. We're going to get a third-party company to call you up and ask you a few medical questions. And the nurse, he was only about 16 or 17 at the time. She said, have you got Asperger's? And he didn't know what it was. So he said, I don't know. So she went, right, tick, suspected Asperger's. Have you ever felt depressed? And he said, yeah, if I lose my computer games or if my girlfriend dumps me. She's put suicidal, potentially, tick. And she asked him something else and a similar answer. I mean, it was like one of these sort of weird, extreme, liberal-minded people. And they said your application is on hold because you may be suicidal and you may have Asperger's. We need you to prove that you don't. And I looked into it in Gibraltar, and for us to send him to College Clinic would have cost about £500 to prove he's not suicidal and he does not have Asperger's. So I said, sod that, Ben. So he left it, and I mean, that was years ago, and he recently reapplied. And the Navy were like, oh, God, we're quite relieved we've got your original application and we know you're not suicidal and we know you don't have Asperger's and we don't use that third party or whoever the hell that supposed medical over the telephone was. So that his application has continued, but that all came to a grinding halt for several years. So maybe he'll get in, maybe he won't. That's where Benji's at. But as far as Faith's concerned, we have to keep it top secret. I'm bursting to tell you all. I'd love to tell you all, but I can't. I can't let anything slip. She'd never speak to me again. But she's in the UK. Because that was a long-winded answer for the whole thing. Right. Ben should have said, I only buy McDonald's, never heard of Asperger's. Oh, ADHD, that was the other thing. And because all his mates are always, teasing each other, going, you got ADHD, mate. You know you've got ADHD. He just made a joke and he said, well, my mates say I do. That's right. She said, right, ADHD. Put that on the list as well. I mean, one thing I will say, my daughter's job, I think I'm allowed to say this. She had to put down what pronoun she wants to be known as. She was like, what? I'm female. And they went, then you'll want she? And she's like, yeah, she, her, that's me. And she was like, this is crazy. This is crazy that there are pronouns. Whoa, was that the cat?
Ghost.
Was it a ghost?
Yeah.
What happened?
Threw the hallway across the room.
Stop lying. Your nose will grow like Megan's. Ghost stories. Yes, my gran grew up in a haunted house. Obviously, I didn't. I wasn't there then because I wasn't born. But she told me loads of stories. She used to live in Gainsborough. She grew up on, I think it was a farmhouse that they rented, very, very old. And I think she said it was built on a graveyard or something like that. And she said they would frequently see people, people, just random people walking through the house that were not actually there, but they would walk through walls or disappear. That kind of level.
That person walking backwards and forwards, that was me. I'm going to the loo.
When we
It wasn't a ghost.
When we first bought the house, do you remember we used to see somebody walking through there?
You did.
I was sitting in a garden one day and I saw you walk through. I thought he's gone to the loo. About half an hour later, you hadn't come back, and I went to look for you, and you were at the other end of the house. And I said, "Well, who the
It's a
hell?"
very old house, though, isn't it?
It is very.
Years old.
It's about 300 years, 250, 300 years old, something like that. So it's
Yeah.
old, like 86 High Street was.
Yeah.
Very old. We're in a very, very old part of La Linea.
It was a fishing village originally, so
Most of La Linea is very quite modern,
they
isn't
would
it?
have had boats at the end of the street and then just dragged them down the beaches
Yeah.
to the sea. Well, obviously they built a highway there now, so
I remember when we first came, the highway wasn't there. It was just a sort of a dirt beach road,
yeah.
dirt track.
It wasn't.
You could go two-way, but that highway wasn't there.
But
Definitely.
EU's paid for that. EU's brilliant. They pay for loads of stuff
I
in
don't
Portugal.
think so.
Got some amazing roads now.
Aussie Walk says, I think I had a ghost here a few days ago. I was walking through my house and smelled the stovetop was on. When I went into the kitchen, it was on high. It hadn't touched the stove since the day before. Weird. Oh, is Trevor here? Trevor Coult MC is here. He's in the house. What a hero. Literally. Bloody marvellous.
Top guy.
He's not a man that'll be kept down, that's for sure.
Don't mess with Trevor.
Positive thinker, divorce rumours, PR, renewal of vows for Netflix. Do you remember a while ago Meghan and Harry were supposed to be renewing wedding vows?
Really?
Yeah, ages ago.
Never happened, did it?
Genovia, that's right.
Genoa is a place in Italy where the Grimaldi family, who have Monaco, came from. And it was all a play on that.
No, it's
Because even the uniforms with the white pith helmets and the blue uniforms, and they're like that in Monaco. The guards outside the Royal Palace.
I could actually feel my cheeks going red while I was watching it, didn't you? It's just so bad.
Awful.
I hope they paid
I
Julie
don't want to be
Andrews
the
a
queen.
fortune. I mean, the hills are alive with the sound of music. That was all right. That's a lot to live down. Mary Poppins and stuff.
She's still alive, Julie Andrews. Must be. I think she's about 80.
Yeah.
She must be nearly 90 now.
She was sticking up for Meghan and Harry a few years back, but I haven't heard her sticking up for them lately. Haven't heard any A-listers sticking up for them lately. Some photographer nobody ever heard of before, he stuck up for them.
Yeah.
That's about it. Where are all their mates then? Where's George Clooney? Huh? Where's Amal? Where's all the other A-listers? What about Tyler Perry? I didn't hear Tyler Perry sticking up for them, saying, hey, Whoopi Goldberg, don't be laughing at their 2 mile an hour car chase in the city of New York.
I thought it was really odd that she invited loads of A-listers who she didn't know to the wedding, and not her family.
Except for her mother, who sat alone. Yeah.
I did think that was odd. I thought, hang on, there's something not right here.
Yeah.
And that's me, a thick dude who doesn't get on anything like that.
5:58 a.m. here. Oh, wow, Suzanne. Thank you for getting up early, especially. Julie Andrews honoured with C.
Has Trevor seen the Princess Diaries? I doubt it very much.
Oh, Trevor, I dare you. I dare you, mate. I'll send you the link.
And I like Anne Hathaway, but
it was appalling.
it's the worst film I've seen since David Hasselhoff. And he's made some awful films.
I'd actually go as far as to say, do you remember we used to have to go to the kids' like nativity plays and stuff at school, which were quite painful, aren't they? They're considerably better than the Princess Diaries. I've got to watch the 2 movie now. I've got to watch it just for the. I might take some clips out of it for fear of copyright. And like analyse it. Oh, I'd love to know what Daniel Boland would make of the Princess Diaries.
I'd rather chew broken glass and lie in the road.
Yes, it's kind of dreadful, isn't it?
Meghan's favourite film.
Are we going to see The Little Mermaid, Candace says. As far as I know, that little mermaid never lost her voice. Lost the gaffer tape to shut her up. That's an amazing clip in Oprah, isn't it? When she says, "Oh, I just felt like a little mermaid. Like I lost my voice, and nobody wanted to listen to what I was going to say because I was just wasn't allowed to talk." And you can see Oprah like that going, "Wow, does she ever shut the fuck up?"
Did you notice in the Princess Diaries, she was not good at speaking, public speaking. At the beginning,
Yeah.
and she runs out and they all laugh at her.
And she's nerdy.
Then she comes
right?
back.
That's the other thing. Megan's always saying, "Oh, I was the nerd at school." And there's Hathaway with the glasses going, "Oh, I'm just a nerd with bad eyebrows and frizzy hair." And there's Megan saying she was a nerd. Well,
She's
not
modeled the
according.
whole character, personality of this Anne Hathaway's character.
Yes,
She said the brave might not survive, but
she was not a
the
nerd
meek
at
will get
school.
nowhere in life ever. You think, I've heard all this from Megan.
Yeah, there are certain lines.
so
in
many
the
lines in
Princess
there, you just want to
Diaries.
spit your drink out.
I know, I was just cringing from start to finish.
World's most cringiest film so far.
I hope Harry's going to escape. I know he deserves to stay, but part of me hopes he'll escape.
Poor Julie Andrews, I can't believe she's in that.
I hope they paid her well.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I couldn't do it. You know, I'd have some pride, you know, if I was an actor. Because, you know, actors, they want parts, obviously. But
Teresa Bennett cancelled Disney as of yesterday.
There's got to be
I've
some
never
parts you
subscribed to
just
Disney.
Don't accept. No, not doing that. Sorry, don't care how much you're paying me. Not doing it.
Oh, Linda Law says, "I just had an advert for men's pants. I have no control over what the adverts are. None whatsoever. And some of our Spanish adverts, they're really full on. I just don't care here in
I
Spain."
recommend free ad blocker for YouTube. That's what I've got on my PC. I don't get any adverts at all. It's great. Just Google free ad blocker YouTube. Download it onto your browser. Brilliant. I shouldn't have told you that, should I? Because
Megan has no brain. Look, there's a little picture of a brain. I didn't know you could do that. You're supposed to just type the word brain. Del Plus. YouTube adverts are out of control. They're like, I don't know what mine are like.
I can't block
Every video I watch, we were watching I Dream of Jeannie today, weren't we?
Yeah.
And they have like 2 adverts. They're not even skippable. I just hit monetize, but I never really look at what the list is. So I suppose YouTube can change that.
Well, free ad blocker is a browser, so you download it and you go into YouTube and there's just no adverts, nothing. You've got to log in again. If you use a different browser, you've got to log in again. So I can't remember the password.
Oh dear, have we got trolls in the chat?
Have we? Block them! Block them! I'm with Trevor on that one. I just block them. I don't let them wind me up and just go.
We're doing our public service by allowing the trolls. You know, they're lonely characters.
Lonely shadows. Mummy's basement, the back bedroom. We used to be the coal cellar, but we did wonderfully, didn't we? Converting it into a bedroom for a sad person.
Jodie says, "Please keep it to yourself, thank you." We're oh right, I think you're having a private conversation with someone else. YouTube is going to start second unskippable ads. Yeah. How's work been? Well, I'm really just doing the house and fixing up the boat at the moment. Spoke to my boss and said, this is the year that we really want to fix the boat up, isn't it? So that's a big priority. And we will be having guests in the house soon, but I just blocked it out for a bit because I got so tired, so frazzled. And I said to Graham, I'm just blocking the rest of the month out. And that's why we decided to come back to the house for a little bit, for a bit of a break.
The internet's better.
Yeah. We're going to try and get Starlink on the boat. I don't know if anyone else out there has experience of Elon Musk's Starlink, but our neighbours in the marina have it, and they swear by it. Although he pays £90 a month, but that's for his whole construction business.
Yeah.
I think you can get a cheaper version, and you have like a little satellite thing, and it goes zzz, 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 zzz. And so it would be really busy on our boat, won't it? Doing that all the time.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that'd be well worth it. So if we get Starlink, well, we
did go live. We did the live from the boat, but it was working fine. And it just cut off. But
yeah.
done.
So we could take our
We'll get back on.
chances with it. Oh, I'm getting hot again. I haven't had a hot flush since I went for a swim in the sea.
The thing is, I don't mind paying £90 a month if it's going to work and it's going to work properly.
Yeah.
But you know, the Wi-Fi now it's free, but it comes and goes, and sometimes you can't even get your emails to open, and you're like,
It's more apps.
yeah.
If I'm trying to deal with some sort of app, and the internet gets a bit wobbly, that's quite frustrating. Right. Oh dear, I must put my glasses on.
Missing all the comments.
Apparently, Elon said he could pull Twitter from the EU today. Okay. Why would he do that?
I don't do Twitter. I have a Twitter account, but I don't use it.
Is someone picking on Trevor?
You don't have to worry
I
about
think
Trevor.
Trevor's tough.
You don't have to worry about Trevor, trust me. He's hard as nails, and nothing bothers him.
Terry's a dodo bird. I think there must be some sort of discussion going on. I miss my hair, Del. Oh. Do you know what I always said? If I lost my hair, I'm going to wear one of those really cool 1920s skull caps. I used to be obsessed with them when I was a child. I just loved them. Watch things like Brighton Revisited and Upstairs, Downstairs, you know, when they got into the 1920s. I love the 1920s with all beads hanging. In fact, sod it, I might get one anyway.
Sorry, what?
Are you coming to say hello? I've been telling them all you applied to join the Navy. I told them about the Asperger's and the suicidal bit and everything. I'm just going to go.
Yeah, I don't know what they see.
Stop it! Don't be so politically incorrect, you little nightmare.
I'm perfectly normal.
Sit there.
Don't be cracking jokes like that at Royal Navy. Oh, there's all kebabs all over the kitchen.
Yeah, don't eat it, it's mine. I'm going to come back to it in a minute. It's going to be Benji's turn in the barrel on Tuesday, mate. If anyone knows what that means.
Great Patty has run Trevor off. How ridiculous.
What?
I don't know what the fuck that means.
Where's that?
Don't swear.
Oh, shit.
I don't know where you get your language from.
Patsy's on Trevor off. That's ridiculous.
Hello, sailor boy. Hello.
Have you ever seen a ghost?
Navy salute like that, Ben.
What?
Army like that. Like Benny Hill.
Trevor's on there.
Oh, is he?
Somewhere. He's hiding in the background. Trevor, this is my lad, the youngest.
He knows that.
How old are you now, mate? 19. 19.
I'll be 20 this year.
20 this year.
That's kind of weird to think about.
Yeah. Be grown
And
up.
if
It's
you go
time
on
to
my
move
channel,
out and
you
pay
go on
your
my
own
channel,
rent.
there's loads of videos of him as a baby crawling about. They're nappy
All
on.
over YouTube.
I heard that he was 11 and there is a videotape when P.S. Vass on a restaurant with him when he was around 13 years old and was his boss. Well, who are you talking about? I have no idea what.
Oh, sometimes they're talking to each other. So you're like interacting with private conversation.
Well, how am I supposed to know? It's already in the chat.
Start chartering a yacht for the rich and employ men.
Start charging a yacht.
Don't want to hear very
You need
sure.
money to buy a yacht first. Then you need crew and licenses, and that's
It's too much paperwork.
yeah, it's a lot of paperwork.
And if you think boats are bad, aeroplanes are even worse. They used to run aeroplanes.
Are they even more? You know?
So much paperwork. So much money coming in and going out, and then you're not left with much. When it's all gone, you think I should be doing better than this. Should get a job stacking shelves in Tesco's and make more money.
Yeah.
And if you think being 20 is weird, try thinking about having a child that's that age. Yeah.
Well, how old were you when Vicky was born?
I was 18 when my first daughter was born.
Oh.
She's 40 odd now.
Yes, it's incredible, isn't it? But she's 9 years younger than me, and I'm 9 years younger than you.
So you're telling me your daughter's the same age as your wife?
No,
No,
she's
she's
9
9 years
years younger than me.
Oh, right,
Claire is in
right.
her 50s.
And I'm 9 years younger than him. So,
So she'd be 40,
I must-
43 this year.
uh,
Yes, she'd be 43. She's born in 80.
44.
Hey Graham, don't you think Fiona looks great today?
Fiona always looks great. Fiona's
Oh, I thought you said that, Ben. And I realised
Fabulous.
you're reading out a comment. Thank you very much, guys. I'll
fabulous.
get a big
Fiona.
head.
Fiona would look great in 1920s style.
Yeah. I'd love to do like a 1920s theme. We'll all have to dress up. I won't be able to see you guys.
Graham
You can dress
has
up
one.
anyway. We could do a live, couldn't we? We could all be 1920s. I love that show upstairs.
1920s, what?
Yeah, you could be like Lord Bellamy
What?
with a smoking jacket. Noel Coward. And I'll get one of those really cool beaded skull caps and a flapper dress.
Yeah. What was that show called that was upstairs, downstairs?
Yeah.
What's this show about?
Before your time, you
It was a really good show, so I don't.
I used to like the girl. What was
Fiona's
Georgina?
earrings.
Georgina, Leslie Ash,
Leslie Ann Downey or
Ann
something.
Downey, something like that.
So they love your earrings.
Oh yeah, I got these in Carrefour the other day. I got these and these shoes. I'll show you.
Fiona is a good flapper.
Look, I got these
Yeah,
shoes.
what's
These
a
were
flapper?
It was a 20s style.
€9. These, and they're just flat. I mean, and they've got them in all different colours, so I'm going to go and get a load of them. And the earrings were €1.
I'm here. I'm just ignoring the knobheads.
Fiona
Trevor
is
said.
one of the-
Who are you calling? Who are you calling a knobhead?
Wankers in the chat. Are they having a go at Trevor?
Who are you calling a knobhead, eh? Better not be me.
professional knobhead.
Hey, that's offensive. I don't do anything.
I'm a baker,
Ooh,
a master baker.
Stop it.
It's a Trevor joke.
No,
but
no.
You won't get it unless you watch his
You
channel.
meant to say beta.
Baker. Master baker. Baked bread.
He needs to be careful with his subtitles, though, doesn't he?
Glinda the good
Yeah, but
upstairs,
you see,
downstairs.
when he
yeah,
says
yeah.
toxic duo,
Oh, don't.
the Belfast accent, the script comes up with toxic because he says jug, so it's
Yeah.
you know.
It's gets it wrong. in the
Sam used to
subtitles.
say that with me whenever I would sail the dolphin boat without further ado.
Okay.
Good on you, Trevor.
It was like, are you saying without further ado?
I said something on the speaker once on the dolphin boat, and they all looked up at me and gasped. And a fella at the back said, "Did you just say wanker?" or something like that. And I said, "No." I can't remember what it was I said, and everyone on the boat said, "Yeah, it sounded just like wanker." And I never swear on that speaker.
Tim left the microphone on once.
Oh,
He
yeah,
said,
he's done
"Oh, I
that.
tell you what, she's
I'm going.
she's
I don't
all
like
right
that.
now. I like words to that effect. I don't know if those are exactly what they're.
What he actually said was, "I can see right up that girl's skirt at the front of the boat."
And she turns around like that and looks at the camera, looks at him. And he's
But
like,
she was wearing a really short skirt that was really full, and the wind was, you know. We were talking about that. We did a private charter with a load of men, young men, who were there for a convention where they have little action figures. They were all men, and we'd arranged beer for them. They were like nerdy. Took him out on the dolphin boat, and some local boat came rousing up, a sunseeker, and his girlfriend was she was might as well have been completely naked. I think she had a thong on, and she had huge knockers. And he came really close to the boat, and she was jumping up and down, going, "Look at the dolphins! Look at the dolphins!" And her tits were doing this. And all 24 of these nerds had their can of
watching the
beer, and they were
dolphins
like
anymore.
that. The one at the front who said, "Best dolphin trip ever." I mean,
And then this guy turns over, he's looking at all these fellas looking at his girlfriend with them topless. And he's going, "Hey, you shouldn't be looking, you shouldn't be looking." I'm like, you came to us, mate, you know what I mean?
a boat full of men.
We're here watching dolphins. Don't want people to look at your missus, then tell her to cover herself up. Goodness sake.
She was oblivious, wasn't she? Absolutely. And she had huge. Anyway,
moving on. Where are we?
I've lost my glasses. I must have put them down somewhere. I'll have to squint.
I'll find them for you. Can't be far away. Got him.
Yeah. Dolphins under eyes. Yes. Yes, definitely. Oh, thank you, Graham. Thank you. She was well endowed. Yes, she was, Glinda, and she was about 19 years
Who
old.
was?
That girl. And
Oh,
she was
Leslie Ann.
you were staring as well. The girl on the Sunseeker.
Oh yeah. Well,
It was me and Lady Faith with the other crew, and Faith was absolutely horrified.
Thing
She's
is,
like,
right,
what's
you know-
the matter with these men? Why do they have to stare like that?
yeah, but you do. You can't help it, can you? Dudes just do that. And if you lie and say I wasn't looking, darling, honestly, you get it even worse in the neck, don't you? You're just like, oh yeah, I was looking, actually, yeah.
Trevor says, I can't believe you thought someone being a dick would make me go. Yes, I don't think Trevor's going to cry. I think he's just fine. Thoroughly Modern Millie, I loved that film. I loved that. Carol Channing, Mary Tyler Moore. Wasn't Mary Tyler Moore lovely? Yes. They used to put it on the telly a lot. Was Megan ever on your yacht? No, she was never on our yacht.
Sean Connery's been on our yacht.
Yeah, apparently.
Bond himself.
That is what Terry's Allgold said.
Yeah, the fellow who ran it before us told us that.
I
When
think
he was in Marbella.
I think he was 2 or 3
Or
hours
Porto
before
Benus.
us. He turned up on an ocean liner with his wife, and he came down to visit our boat. And he said, I used to own this boat. And he was telling us all stories. And he had it in Puerto Banús. And the engines on it, he said they used to purr like a pair of kittens. I said, yeah, those are the days. Anyway, he said he used to turn her on at Sundays or something. And he heard a voice behind him say, oh, I like the sound of those engines. And he said, I was just about to turn around and say, mind your own business.
Did you get moaners who moan
Yeah.
about you running the engines in the
And
marina?
he said it was Sean Connery.
It's like,
And he was like, wow, Sean Connery. And he said, I recognise the sound of those engines. I've got the same engines on my boat. And he said,
Diesels.
please come aboard, Mr. Connery. And he said Sean Connery was on the boat with him for about an hour. We should put a plaque up on our boat saying Sean
Blue
Connery
plaque,
was
Sean
on
was
this
here.
boat. Never mind that David Attenborough went with the Dolphin Safari and said, they're the best.
Sean Connery actually got married in Gibraltar.
Yes, he did.
Twice.
Twice, yes.
In the registry office, yeah. Along with John Lennon.
Oh, not at the same time. You didn't
No,
marry,
not at the same
you didn't
time.
marry John Lennon.
He married Yoko Ono in Gibraltar.
John, yeah.
And there's a few others, I can't remember the names. There's not,
Yeah.
there's a few.
Our bosses got married in Gibraltar
Same
a couple
room,
of years
same
ago.
room. Same room as
Yeah.
Sean.
Nothing changes in Gibraltar, does it? It's like a time warp.
They all had masks. They all had to wear masks. Everyone's like this. I do. Yes. So who's got the ring?
The original Great Gatsby. Yes, I love that film. I love that effort. All right, I want to, Savannah. Thank you, Fiona, for turning me on to Trevor. Love a person that speaks the truth. I wondered if that was like, I'm turning on him, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him, that Trevor.
Trevor's funny. He's interesting. He's a laugh. But I don't agree with him on everything, of course. But I like Trevor. He's definitely worth watching and following.
Definitely. And actually, really quite laid back in a lot of respects.
Yeah, we talk quite a lot
Yeah,
on the phone. and
very
stuff.
laid back. Mia Farrow. I never really took to Mia, not much. But yeah, I do love the beaded caps and all the 1920s stuff.
She's into 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graham doesn't like it. He likes Victorian and Edwardian and corsets and stuff. And I like the 1920s.
Anything from the mid 1700s to the.
Yes, Trevor, you are funnier than Jim Davidson.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And Jim Davidson's funny. He's funny.
Jim Davidson is funny, and Trevor's a big friend with Jim Davidson. And I've actually subscribed to Jim Davidson's channel, and I do watch him, and I just think, well, you know, yeah, he is funny. I'm not knocking Jim Davidson, but I don't watch him that much.
I used to watch him in the 80s. He's not.
Oh, he was really funny.
Oh, absolutely hilarious.
I used to have me in Stitches in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he went off to the Falklands, didn't he, to do shows and things
Did
down
he?
there. He
I
was
didn't
dead
know
funny.
that. I didn't know that.
He was dead funny, and he came up with some really jokes he wouldn't get away with today, put it that way.
I used to like
And he had me in Stitches.
Jack D.
Jack D was.
Yeah, but
was
you
good.
see, these comedians, they're not allowed to do all that on the telly. But there are YouTubers that are really shocking. Like, does anybody here watch Brandon Rogers? Probably, if you've got weak hearts or anything like that, I probably shouldn't mention Brandon, but I think he's got about
He's
3
exhausting.
million
I don't know
subscribers.
where he gets his energy from.
He is hilarious.
He's
though.
exhausting. By the time you watch one of his videos, you're exhausted.
He's
You've got to keep stopping it and thinking about it. And oh, yeah.
he's funnier than anyone on the telly and outrageous. And I think he's always taking the mickey out of people who are like seriously liberal. I think that's his thing. But he is shocking. 6.32 million subscribers.
That's big. That is big.
He uploaded 2 weeks ago. So
don't show him, you'll get a copyright strike.
it's not just the copyright strike. I mean, it is shocking stuff. Again,
Brandon
look, he's got on
launches.
gay rights there. Oh,
He
let's not
does
even
loads
go
of
there.
sketches like Monty Python, but like,
Yeah.
nothing like Monty Python.
No, it's just so outrageous. He's got I'm not even going to mention it. I'll get into trouble.
No, but
We're
he
not
doesn't
allowed to do
need a
anything.
plug from us, that's for sure.
Oh no, not at all.
He's got 1 million for every 1,000 he goes, hasn't he?
I mean, some of the
Right. Hang on, what else have we got here? Catch up with it because they go
Duchess
off
of
the top, you
North
miss
Sussex.
things.
I forgot to say Duchess of North Sussex is another wonderful YouTuber. And
Yes, yeah.
Queen Gertie is another. And Glinda the Good. See, I forget all the different people.
There's so many, I can't remember. And again, it depends what you're into. I've got quite a wide interest in.
And what
lots of different
mood you're in.
subjects.
We were listening to, it was really weird the other night. We used to listen to it. We had this CD called Thunder Magic. It's just a thunderstorm with the gentle music in the background. And we had it on the telly, and then a thunderstorm started, didn't it? We were really into listening to like sounds of nature
What's
at
it
the
called?
moment.
Thunder Magic?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Something else.
No, I think it's called Thunder Magic.
But we used to listen to it. We bought the CD and when we were in Holland, and we were just smoking weed all the time, and drinking wine and listening to the music. And it was like, wow, they just brought all those memories back, didn't they? Like, Millennium Christmas.
But there's loads of really good ones where you can just like listen to sounds of the beach or the forest or Mr. Ballon. Talking of forest, because a lot of his deep and disturbing stories seem to be in the forest. If you like storytelling, Mr. Ballon, and I think he's got about 18 million subscribers. He's fantastic. And what's that other one the kids used to listen to all the time? Mr. Nightmare. Everything's disturbing. People write into him, kids write into him with horrible things that have happened to them, like they were left home alone as teenagers and there was a creep outside the house trying to break in and he had a knife or a gun. Tells stories like that. I love Mr. Nightmare.
He goes walking in the woods at night, though. He just gets bitten to death by mosquitoes, don't you?
Those are them, and they meet murderers or potential murderers, don't they, all the time? But Mr. Ballon is really good. I love Mr. Ballon.
Forget the vampires and the bears and things.
Yeah, and he does things like
Can King Charles III put, this one, Kim Coldwalder?
Can King Charles III put Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles into abeyance? That way they're not stripped, but they can't use them. If they divorce prior to taking the titles. I don't know. I don't think so, but Lady C's definitely the person to answer that question. And I come from Sussex, so unfortunately, I think that the title Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they're going to become synonymous with losers.
Someone made an interesting point today. I was reading your comments and I wrote it down. I thought that's an interesting point. It said prior to marriage, to avoid markles, should future royals, like William's children, for example, have to date for at least 5 years before they get married?
Well, I think that was sort of the point behind the Royal Marriages Acts, that monarchs could sort of control.
Because you can make mistakes.
People who marry who are close enough to the throne that it could cause a ton of shit. For the life of me, I don't know why they allowed that to go ahead.
I mean, he'll never be king, but I mean,
I'll be interested to see if the Daily Mail go with a story like Meghan was a yacht girl, because they've been talking about yacht girls. They've been talking about surrogate, people saying surrogacy and all that. They've been doing a lot of these stories.
If you marry into the British royal family, there's no way you could hide that. no way you can hide anything because they just dig and dig and dig and dig, and they'll find out. They will find out, and it'll all come out.
Yeah, and I
you
mean,
can't cover everything up, can you? You know.
I mean, there were the tapes where Diana's private conversations were recorded, and also Charles and Camilla, their private conversations were recorded. Now, I think the press had the information with Diana's phone call for about 8 years before they released it. That's a long time. And Charles and Camilla, I think it was about 6 years they sat on it. So they do sit on these things. And I mean, like this Philip Schofield story.
That came on way later than
Yes. The Philip Schofield thing, that everyone's saying it was an open secret. So I'm guessing that the press knew about it. And that there are a lot of stories out there that they do sit on for a long time. So I don't know why. I don't know why they sit off on them, but they do.
Trevor says, in my opinion, I believe Meghan is just a high-class hooker.
She's a
Say it
tart.
as it is, Trevor.
Like, do you remember that TV show, Bread? She's a tart. She's
Lilo
a
Lil.
tart.
Lilo Lil. Her husband went off for Lilo Lil, didn't he? Hey, stop picking on Lil. She's
I love
alright.
the word. We are coming up to an hour and a half, so I think it's time to begin wrapping things up. And then you can go eat your extremely spicy kebab. I've just had a tiny nibble and my mouth's still on fire. Oof, I don't know how you do it, Graham.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done.
Far too spicy. Thank you all very
I like spicy things.
Thank you all very, very much for joining us. And I hope you all have a fabulous morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And if I've forgotten any YouTube, not that any YouTuber needs a shout out from me, but I do always like to say the ones that I follow. In my opinion, Schofield is the new Jimmy Savile. It's looking like the story is heading in that direction, doesn't it? And
I wouldn't like to make any allegations, but it's interesting to follow the story, I suppose. No, I've not been interested in it really up to now.
I'm not interested in Schofield really, but I mean, if it turns really dark, then yes, I suppose we'll be going to have a look at it.
They used to call him Squeaky Schofield because they couldn't find any dirt on him. Years and years ago.
Everybody's got something, but I mean, some things are a little more shocking than others, aren't they? I have no idea. What's up, Puddy? What do you want? What? Oh, she's been on the barrel eating your kebab.
She's better not be.
Why she got red lips? Oh dear. And on that note, I think we'd better say good night. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Trevor, and everybody else. Good night, and may your God go with you.